Happy Friday and welcome back to Afternoons Live with Tyler Axness. I'm Gretchen Dobervich filling in for Tyler on the Mighty 790, 104.7 KFGO, and excited for our next guest, Mr. Josh Kramer, who is the general manager and executive vice president for the North Dakota Rural Electric Cooperatives. Good afternoon and happy Friday, Josh.
Hey, Gretchen, happy Friday to you. How you doing?
Great, and thank you so much for making time on a Friday afternoon to visit with us. Kind of the theme for this afternoon show is planning for winter emergencies related to your heat and electricity. And growing up, and I don't know if I can say this or not, but growing up, I had the privilege of the lights being on and the heat working because of Slope Electric, a great rural electric cooperative out in southwest North Dakota.
They sure are. Yes, we've got 16 other electric cooperatives, distribution cooperatives across the state, similar to Slope Electric, and we take a lot of pride in being able to put the lights on, keep the lights on, and and obviously in North Dakota we have weather conditions that arise, and they tend to go out, but we take pride in getting out there and trying to get them back on as quickly as the conditions allow.
They get the job done, I tell you. One of the reason that I wanted to have you on this afternoon was to talk about. So there's this myth that kind of spins around that your heat and your electricity can't be shut off during the winter months because you live in a place that's cold, and that is the case in Minnesota, but it isn't here in North Dakota. And so for folks who are being served by a rural electric cooperative, how can they, if they feel like they're going to be unable to meet their pay their heat and electricity bill, are there ways that they can work with their local REC to keep warm in a North Dakota January?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's heating assistance programs out there. One being the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. LIHEAP is federal dollars that goes through the state. That's a great resource if folks aren't connected yet. A lot of times our electric cooperatives will help the individuals get connected to their local community action network to basically apply those dollars toward their bill. I think it's one thing that's really unique about our cooperatives is because we are local, they set policies on a local level. So they do have different policies on how they handle disconnects. I can tell you that disconnects that's probably everyone's least favorite day of the month from the utility standpoint. But one of the things that I think is important is that we can try to keep people as current as possible, so those bills don't get higher and higher. And I would just say the policies kind of range. Weather is always taken into consideration. What is the temperature that day? But like I said, we've got 16 different distribution cooperatives, and they all have a little bit different approach to it. But I think, long story short, I think if folks are having trouble, to call their cooperative and discuss with them the issue, and that's the way we do things here in North Dakota.
Absolutely, and visiting with different guests throughout the afternoon, it is really about those relationships and in connecting to resources. And you said it's the folks living in rural North Dakota. We knew our mail provider, or the person who delivered our mail. We knew the linemen, and so knowing that people can reach out to people they know in their community to make arrangements for when that cold weather comes. Because I don't know, how is it out in Bismarck? Are you getting the rain too?
It's drizzling a little bit. Yeah, that's always cause for concern. As long as the wind stays down and doesn't turn to ice too quickly. But, it's usually better when it's colder for power lines than it is right around the freezing point.
So it seems kind of crazy to be talking about emergencies due to weather, but on a drizzly afternoon, things can sure turn fast out on the prairie. So thank you, Josh, so much for making time on a Friday afternoon to visit with me about how folks who are served by a rural electric cooperative can work with their local cooperative and can utilize the LIHEAP, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, to meet their heating needs and stay warm this winter in North Dakota. Have a great weekend.
You bet. You too. Thanks, Gretchen.
Again, this is Gretchen Dobervich filling in for Tyler Axness on Afternoons Live on this Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.